we're gonna get started. Welcome to yoga twisting today, progressive twisting. You may need 2 blocks and a strap. And we'll start in kneeling position. So you can sit on 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 1 block, and allow yourself to get centered. So if you're gonna do hero's pose, you can have the feet a little bit wider than the hips. And feel free to adjust in any way that you need to throughout. Let's first arrive in our bodies, hands on the thighs. You could close your eyes. Let the chin slightly nod towards your chest as the back of the skull lengthens. And feel what it feels like to be in your body as you invite in a 3-dimensional breath. Breathing in and out through your nose if that's accessible to you. Feeling the support of the ground and the blocks beneath you. And let the shoulder blades, the inner bottom borders of your shoulder blades, melt to the back of your heart in acknowledgement of your heart space. As you direct your breath to the spaces in between your shoulder blades, allow the inner shoulders to widen from the base of your neck. Setting any intention you would like for practice today. Today we'll focus on some side body length and twisting. We'll begin to invite a sense of self-worthiness, self-value, side body long, from the hips to your underarms, your armpits. You're architecturally creating more space to receive the abundance of your breath. And we'll maintain that sense of spaciousness even when we twist. So we could carry that into our binding situations, our twisting situations, whether it be on the mat or off the mat. And you can keep your eyes closed or slowly open them, soft gaze. Placing your hands to the bottom ribs in the front, and 3 full cycles of breath into your hands. Allow the rib cage, the rib basket, to expand. I like rib basket because it brings in a sense of adaptability and stability rather than rigidity. And after your 3rd round, sliding your hands to the outer ribs so you can have same hand, same side, or give yourself a hug, self-love, and breathe into the sides of your ribs. We're accepting the internal support, not only of our bones, but also of our breath to help support our bones. You are supported from the inside out. We always have our breath to come back to as an anchor and also as a compass to check in with where we are. And after your last round, slide the back of your hands to the back bottom of your ribs. This area could be a little bit trickier to have access to. Breathing here. The back body representing a sense of support, universal self, community, friends, family, divine, whatever resonates with you. And then let's meet with 1 hand on your heart and 1 to the bottom 2 ribs. And we'll mobilize the thoracic spine, the rotation of the thoracic spine and also the rib cage. So keep the bottom hand facing forward and begin to turn just your heart to one direction, but keep the bottom ribs forward. And center on your inhale. And do that 2 more times in this direction. So we're bringing in an awareness of moving from the back of the heart and the rib basket in our twist, rather than our lower back and our neck. So sometimes lower back crankiness or not so happy neck issues can be a result, we'll switch side, of being sticky in this area. So switching, which hand is on top, and switch the direction. We're getting unstuck as we bring awareness to moving our spine in all the ways it's meant to move. which we sometimes forget in our modern day living. And after your last round, slowly release, hands to the thighs. Pat your thighs a couple times to wake them up. Wake up the hands too. And we'll slide the hands forward, hands and knees, all fours. Circle your ankles. Bring the circulation back to your toes. Wiggle your toes. Let's make our way to a seated position on our bottoms, cross-legged. Sukhasana or easy pose. So extra rolled blanket or mat or a block underneath if you need. So if your knees are really high up, sit on a blanket. Let's have the right shin in front and strap. We're gonna use the strap for feedback. If you don't have, that's okay. You can take your hands to the sides of your ribs. Take the strap or the resistance band behind you, like the bottom part of your ribs just above. We're gonna use the strap for the extra assistance and feel back here for thoracic rotation with the rib cage. So you hold like this, elbows hug in, root down through the sitting bones, lengthen, full breath. So front, sides, and back on the inhale of your rib cage. And as you exhale, twist to your right. So I'm going to pull the left hand forward a little bit more and use the strap to see if you have a little bit more, just from a sense of support, not by forcing. And then bring it to center, inhale. Same side. Turn to the right. So right now I'm not your mirror. I apologize, but don't worry. We're doing both sides. Center 3 times this direction. And then the other direction. Yeah, soften your eyeballs and your face. Yeah, all this newness. So as you turn to the left, you're pulling your right hand a little bit more, like you're assisting the twist from your rib cage to the opposite side. And after your last round, bring it to center. Now hold on to both sides of the strap with your right hand. And take the strap, slide to the right. So you could readjust here like this. We're going to use the strap like a bar to bring mindfulness to side bending. Okay, so take your left hand behind your head. So it'll be opposite hand of which one is holding the strap. Inhale, lengthen through the sides of the body. Really important before side bending and twisting. And then lean over or curl over or bend over the strap. So you're gently pulling it to the right. And then bring it back on up. So I'm the opposite here. Now I'll be the mirror now. So pull to the right and curl to the left. Yeah. Do it like 3 or 4 times. Again, we're not trying to make anything too crisp. Definitely not trying to make anything perfect. Allow this to be an inquiry, a curiosity practice. 3 to 4 times, one side and then the other. Yeah, so we're remembering the movement possibilities of our spine and our rib cage. So make sure it's not at your waist. It's like the bottom ribs. So you pull and you side bend best you can with a sense of rootedness, length, and mobility. That's not easy. I totally encourage yawning. It's a discharge. Yeah, good. It's a nice discharge of energy. And then we'll bring it to center. Strap to the side. Okay, let's keep that awareness of the length through the spine and rotating from the heart and the rib basket. Reach your arms up in front of you and thumbs up. Lengthen through the spine. So sitting bones root down, lengthen from your hips to your armpits. And let's turn to the right. Keep that spine. Yeah. So you're going to turn from your rib cage. So heart and rib cage turn. Take your left hand to your right knee. Now look at your right thumb and watch the thumb reach back behind you for the twist. And now placing your right hand behind you on the ground, just behind your pelvis. Now, if you need to bring the ground closer, use a block. So it could be right fingertips on the ground. Again, lengthen through the spine. And as you use your right hand to twist your left hand to twist to the right, twist from your rib cage. Now those back fingertips, as you tent them, you could bend the elbow and lift the armpit up and then roll the shoulder back. So you're lifting the armpit up, yeah, and breathing. Each inhale, finding length as you breathe into all sides of your body. And each exhale, twisting for 3, 2, and 1. Mindfully as you can, release. Center, if you want, you could change whatever shin's in front. Reach your arms out in front. Root down, lift and lengthen the spine. So we're going to use the muscles of the abdominals, the rotational muscles of the spine, to lead us into the twist. So it's like an active twisting here. And turn to the left. Right hand on left knee. Watching your left thumb look back behind you for the twist. And then fingertips land on the ground just behind you like a kickstand. So the lower spine, the lumbar spine, lifts in and up. So rooting down, rising up, lengthen through the sides of the body on the inhale. Breathe into all sides of your rib cage. And as you exhale, using your right hand and the back hand to leverage the twist. So we first started by tapping into our inner strength for the rotation, and then we use our hands as a way to help support and assist. For another 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Center. Onto your back. Mindfully make your way onto your back. Bend the knees, feet as wide as the mat, accepting the support of the ground. Again, breathing into the back body. Let the knees rest in towards each other. Arms in a low V. So not next to your side body, but a little bit further away, and palms down. Snuggle the shoulder blades. Closer into the back of the heart. Breathing there. Windshield wiper your legs side to side. A little bit more attention and awareness to your hips. Good. And then bring it to the right, all the way to the right. Slide your left leg to the left foot to the left until your left knee comes straight out from your left hip socket. Stay here, or you could cross right ankle over left thigh bone. Stay here, or reach your arms overhead. So today we'll do progressive twisting or progressions in each of the shapes. Meet yourself where you are today. All right, allow this practice to serve you, the yoga practice to serve you rather than the other way around. Belly in and towards your head. Flexing your left ankle for 3, 2, and 1. First, uncrossing the top ankle. Slide your arms by your sides and using your core to bring your knees to center. Knees rest in towards each other. Pause. Notice any shifts or changes. Allow the knees to fall to the left. Slide your right foot to the right until right thigh bone is straight out from the hip socket. Stay here or cross left ankle over right thigh bone. So you have about a 90-degree angle with your right thigh bone and your right shin. So bending the right knee, 90-degree angle. Stay here or sweep the arms overhead. The back of the hands can rest on the ground. Belly in and towards your head. 3-dimensional breath. Softening your face. And as mindfully as you can, uncrossing that top ankle. Slide the arms by your sides and bring your knees to center. Let the knees rest in towards each other, one hand to your heart, one to your belly. Bring your arms to the sides again. Bring your feet now inner hip width distance apart. And now hug both knees into your chest. Side to side, rock it out. Massage your spine. Massage your back body, the back of your pelvis. And now grab onto a block or a pillow. It's okay if you don't have. Place the block in between your knees and soles of the feet on the ground. So you can keep the soles of the feet on the ground, or reach your arms straight out to the sides, palms facing up. Draw the knees in towards your chest. Have the feet active. I'm going to flex mine, but you could do somewhere in between point or floint. And inhale, and as you exhale, slowly lower your knees to the right and using your core to bring the knees to center. So initiate the movement back to center, the return from the sides of the waist going down to the ground. Do that a good couple rounds. If you want, you could turn your head the opposite direction. And also an option, as the knees lower to the right, extend your left leg to the right, the top leg. Yeah, and then bend the knee, the top knee, and bring it to center. Do that a good couple more times, about 3 more times. Rhythm of your own breath. Best you can, keep the shoulder blades heavy on the ground. Hugging that block to hug into your core. Let's meet with the knees to the right. You'll stay here a couple of cycles of breath, or keep the left leg extended. Another 3, 2, and 1. Bend the top knee, keep the knees here. Gazing at your left fingertips, curl your fingertips to your inner forearm. Bend the left elbow, place your left hand on your chest, and your eyeballs are following your left hand all the way past your right fingertips. So you reach your left hand to the right, and then big floppy circle up and around again to the left. 2 more times. Curl the fingertips, bend the left elbow, left hand to your chest, reach, and a big floppy circle around. Eyeballs follow your left hand. Also using the sense of touch to map out our bodies. Nice technique to help us inhabit our bodies. And on your next exhale after your last round, bring everything to center. Knees and head. Lower down to the left. And lift back on up to center. About 6 to 8 times with this repetition of knees lowering to the left. I'm going to change direction so I have space. And feel free now, again, to extend that top leg. Shoulder blades heavy. And again, allow the movement to be breath supported, breath supported. After your last round, meeting with the knees to the left. Stay here, extend your right leg to the left. This side might be really different. Breathing again, 3-dimensional breath. So nice practice, again, of keeping the side body long and breathing to all aspects of yourself, even in the twisting and the binding situations. Look at your right fingertips, curl your fingertips in, bend your right elbow, right hand slides across your chest and reach past your left fingertips, and then a big floppy circle up and around. Yeah, clear the space. And again, bend and reach. Big floppy circle. Take it up lots of space. Don't be afraid to take up lots of space. And your twist. Big movements. And we'll meet. Both knees to center. Head to center. And slowly release your feet on the ground. Block to the side. So you can hug your knees into your chest again and do 3 rock and rolls to the top, or make your way to hands and knees by rolling to one side. We'll meet all fours. Pat up your knees if you need. And a couple rounds of cat-cows. We'll reorientate ourselves in space here. So there'll be options for vinyasa, classic vinyasa if you like. But this is also an option in between, is to do a couple cat-cows. Let's do 2 more cat-cows, whatever variation you like. Rhythm of your own breath. So this is an option for a vinyasa. And then make your way into bird dog. Reach your right leg back, or also known as a spinal balance, and left arm forward. This is also an option for a vinyasa. And switch sides. So lower the right knee down, lift the right arm and the left leg, and lower down. One more time, each side. So this is also an option for vinyasa instead of high to low push-up. Nice. Now, using blocks if you need, you have an option to step your right foot forward in between your hands, or walk your hands slightly to the left and step your right foot forward. So we got lots of options for the transitions. You may want to slide the left knee back a little bit if you need. We're going to make our way to variations for a twisting lunge. So keeping your left fingertips on the ground or on a block, take your right thumb to your right hip crease and pull the outer right hip back. And again, lengthen through the spine. So it's like you're lifting or reaching your left lung forward, right shoulder blade back of the heart. Now you might stay here. That's great. That's a great variation. Or you could take your left elbow to the outside of your right knee and keep an open left palm. And then rest your chin there and gaze to the outside of your right foot, and then right shoulder blade back of the heart. This way we're taking the neck out of the equation. So look down to the outside of your right foot and pull the outer right hip back. You could stay on the top of the back foot or curl the back toes under. Stay here or lift your chin. Keep an open left palm. Make a light fist with your right hand and place on top of your bottom palm, and then press the two together and lift your heart to your hands. Good. And keep the hands close to your heart. So you'll be bending that right elbow more to the sky, pressing down. Nice. For 3, 2, and 1. Mindfully as you can, lower the hands down. So one hand on either side of the front foot, or again, both hands inside the right foot and step it back into tabletop position. Now, you could do 2 cat-cows and then 2 spinal balances as your vinyasa, or make your way into downward facing dog and take 1 to 2 high to low push-ups, whatever you like. So there is an option for vinyasa or flow, or we can meet in tabletop. Again, the option can be 2 cat-cows and 2 bird dogs or spinal balances. And we'll meet on hands and knees again. Yeah, make the class as chill, your practice, it's your practice, as chill or challenging as you like. We'll meet tabletop, either stepping your left foot forward in between your hands or walk your hands slightly to the right and step your left foot forward. You could curl the back toes under and slide the back knee slightly so it's slightly behind your right hip. Right fingertips on a block or the ground. Left hand, left thumb to left hip crease. And then pull that left hip crease back. That way you're lengthening the sides of the body, reaching your right lung forward and left shoulder blade back of the heart as you spin with your rib cage to the left. Now you can stay here, or right elbow outside of left thigh, pause. Open right palm, rest your chin, contemplate the meaning of life here. Pull that outer left hip back and hug front foot to back knee to front foot. Stay here or open right palm, light left fist. Bring the hands and the fist close to your chest as you press the right elbow into the left knee and lift your heart. So you're turning with your rib cage up to your hands. Now you can keep the gaze in line with your heart or look over your left shoulder. And you're breathing, even though you're twisting, even though you're in a binding shape situation, you're still making sure you've got room for yourself and your breath for 3, 2, and 1. Mindfully as you can, releasing hands to the ground, however way you want to transition. Hands and knees, taking 2 cat-cows and 2 bird dogs, or downward facing dog. 1 to 2 high to low push-ups if you want, whatever you need, right? Meet yourself where you are. That might mean getting off at a different bus stop than you normally would. Letting go of any of the shoulding. And every time we step on our mat is different. We'll meet tabletop. Again, either transition right foot forward or walk your hands slightly to the left, stepping your right foot forward, curling the back toes under. Stay here with the left knee down or lift up the back knee. You'll stay here, or, so even if you have your back knee down, there's an option also to place your hands, interlace your fingers on your front thigh. Make your way on up. Even if you're on your back knee, you could do this as well. Reach your arms forward, thumbs up, lengthen through the sides of the body, now using your rotational muscles to twist at a diagonal towards the right. Placing your left hand on your right knee, and then watching your right thumb back. Yeah. Pulling that outer right hip back. Press to the right heel. Now you can stay here or lower the left hand to the ground or block. Right arm up to the sky. Keep the back thigh bone lifting up. Stay here, or right fingertips on your lower back like a tent on your sacrum. Lift your armpit and right collarbone, right shoulder blade back of the heart as you twist the rib cage to the right for 3. Nice. 2 and 1. Mindfully as you can, releasing either both hands down, down dog, or meet in tabletop. 2 cat-cows and 2 spinal balances, or 1 to 2 vinyasas, high to low push-ups. Whatever you need. Meet yourself where you are. So about 2 cat-cows, 2 spinal balances, or 2 flows. Whatever you need. And we'll meet in tabletop. And we'll do the other side. Walk your hands slightly to the right if that's the transition you're taking. Left foot forward. Curl the back toes under, stay on your right knee or lift the back knee. Interlace the fingers as you press your palms on your thighs, belly and ribs in. Reach your arms forward, thumbs up. Press down from the core of the pelvis to the legs. Lift the sides of the body all the way up to your armpits. And then turn to the left. Right hand could be outside of your left thigh. And you can follow your finger, your thumb towards the left, staying here. Hug front foot to back foot to front foot for 3, 2, 1. Stay here, or right hand to the ground, left arm up to the sky. And left fingertips to the lower back, like your sacrum. Lengthen through the side body and left shoulder blade back of the heart. Again, gaze could be up, sideways, or down for 3. Breathing all sides of your rib cage, 2 and 1. Mindfully as you can, release hands down to the ground, down dog. High to low push-up, 2 vinyasas, or hands and knees. 2 cat-cows. Rhythm of your own breath, your own variation. And then 2 spinal balances, either meeting in down dog or hands and knees. And now let's all meet on hands and knees. Cross at your ankles. Make your way onto your bottom. Again, block to sit up on or a rolled blanket. Let's cross the right shin in front. And this is a variation of a twisting sage pose. So this is one variation. So instead of my left shin, right shin crossing in front, I place my right foot, my right ankle in front of the bottom left ankle here. Then take your right fingertips back behind you, reaching your left arm forward, and then reach it up to the sky, lengthen through the spine. Now using the rotational muscles of your spine, spin to the right and hold on either with your hand, so your hand to knee to twist to the right, or elbow crease. Whatever feels good to you, but you're hugging the shin in to help lift and lengthen the spine. Breathing here. Now you have an option to stay here, or you can release enough to extend your left leg forward and cross your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. And again, you can hug with your elbow crease or hook the elbow. And if you want, come out of the pose, lift and lengthen, and then twist with your rotational muscles, and then opposite elbow outside of the opposite knee. Now don't forget about that left leg. That left leg is a strong mountain leg. So reach it forward and spinning your rib cage to the right. And breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Mindfully as you can release. Hands by your hips, uncross and extend both legs forward and shake it out. Staff pose. Okay, for this variation, we'll do a forward fold, a different variation of forward fold in between. So bending both knees until your feet are hip width distance apart. Make contact with your belly and your ribs. We did this a lot the past couple times past week. And hold on to the bottoms of your feet like underneath your toes. So this kind of takes the hamstrings out of the equation here. Feet wider if you need to. Press down, lift the lower spine in and up. And then keep that length. Exhale, bend the elbows wide and fold inward. Meet yourself where you are, shoulders from the ears. Now you stay here for a couple cycles of breath, or make sure your feet are about hip width distance apart, or lift up, slide your feet a little bit further away from you and set up again. Press down, lift and lengthen. And as you exhale, maintain the length to the sides of the body. You're reaching the sternum forward and fold, bowing inward. Like 2 cycles of breath. And you could feel free to slide the heels further away. Bring all sides of your body. Maintaining length in your lower back. As mindfully as you can. Releasing, slide the legs forward, hands by your hips, lift and lengthen. Press the inner thighs down, engage the pelvic floor, belly in and up, back of the skull long. Other side. This time, left shin is going to be in front, so folding the legs. Left shin. Left foot in front, so about ankle to ankle. Taking your left hand behind you and reaching the right arm up. And give yourself a hug, either hand to knee or elbow crease as you twist. But use the backhand like a kickstand, like an extra leg as you press down to lift the sacrum in and up. And if the ground isn't close enough to you, bring the ground closer to you, using a block for contact. Because we want to use the floor or the floor and a block to help us push down. So we're using a sense of rooting to rise. Now you can stay here, or you can slide right foot forward, left foot outside of right thigh. And I have my backhand here like a kickstand. And lifting and lengthening, reaching up. Use the spinal rotators to find length in an active way. And then you can outsource or using the combination of the support of your hands and your rotational muscles to bring you into this twisting sage pose. Drop that left sitting bone towards the ground, has a tendency to lift up. Breathing for 3. You know what, you're at the right stop if you can breathe. 2. And 1, mindfully as you can, releasing, extend both legs forward, shake it out. You can take the variation of forward fold we did again for about 6 cycles of breath. You could go right into a bent knee variation or straightening your legs, pressing the inner thighs down, and the variation of pulling that inner knee, pulling the quads into your hip sockets, but especially your inner knees. Doesn't matter if your hands touch your toes or your shins. This is even considered a forward fold. Hands by your hips, pressing down. Soften your shoulders from your ears and breathe. Yeah. Soften the shoulders from your ears, and you can even bow inward. The name of this posture is like full back of the body stretch. That includes the upper back and the back of your head. Another 3, 2, and 1. Mindfully as you can, releasing. Cross at your ankles or sweep the feet around. Hands and knees. Let's do a little bit more active twisting. Hands and knees, extend your right leg to the right. You're mindful of your neighbor and all the stuff around you. Left hand stays on the ground or a block. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Now you can stay here, or like a thread the needle, thread your right arm behind your left. And you can bend the left elbow until your head comes down to the ground, or bring the ground closer to you and use a block underneath your head. We're gonna play with that. Reach the right arm up again and find a different point in which to thread. And find 4 more points, different points. So they may be closer or further away from your left wrist and your left knee. And we're not trying to make anything too crisp. We're exploring. We're finding different angles, different variations with the same suggested shape. And after your last round, we'll meet with the right arm up to the sky, and then right hand to the ground, switching sides. Bending the right knee underneath your right hip, left leg long, twisting to the left, and 6 different points. This side might be different. And again, use a block. Bring the ground closer to you. Again, the practice, this movement practice, yoga, whatever movement practice, serve you, right? Meet you where you are, not the other way around. Allowing yoga to be accessible. Right. Yoga for everyone by meeting yourself where you are. And we'll meet with the left arm up and then left hand to the ground, left knee in. We'll do that again on the other side, right leg to the right. Left hand stays below left shoulder, right arm up to the sky, and finding whatever point you would like to settle more into. So it could be right behind the left wrist, and we'll linger there. But if the dynamic movement is really calling for you, go with that. Yeah, option 2. Breathe into one variation or enjoy some dynamic movement. But there's always movement, even in the poses that we're quote unquote holding. There's an undercurrent of breath. There's an undercurrent of adaptability. And slowly, mindfully releasing. Right arm can reach up. And right hand to the ground. Switching sides, right knee in, left leg wide. Left arm up. Either a couple rounds of dynamic movement, or finding your favorite or your most curious, interesting place in which to breathe into. Again, using a block if you need. Can you maintain a sense of length, architecturally being able to receive the abundance of your breath, even in those twisting, binding shapes and situations, making sure that you are settling into a shape that allows you to settle into yourself. And that starts with the breath. Another 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing, hands and knees. Okay, this time we'll stay with the knees below the hips to start off with. Thread your right arm behind your left wrist, somewhere there. Now you can stay there or extend your left leg at a diagonal to the left. You give yourself a little bit more space in which to twist. Stay there, or the left leg could come straight back behind you. And you might roll on over to the side. Sense of curiosity. Oh, it will happen to more than one of us in a second. You can stay there, or as long as you're laughing and smiling, is all that matters. Lift the left leg up. I mean, we're all going to fall eventually on that one. And dance. Good. Stay here or bend your left knee, left heel in towards your bottom. Stay here. Slowly, slowly reach for your left ankle with your left hand. You're already close to the ground, so if you fall over, It's a nice reminder that the ground and the mat are there for you. It was getting way too serious. Yeah, playfulness and curiosity is the best. So, yeah, make your hand out. Make the phone part of the dance. Like
so what are you, I would say, I guess it's from your core, huh?
From the like that sense of core, also taking your time, unhurried rush, like unhurried and unrushed to come into it. I know for me, I'm just like, I just want to get to like that cool variation that to also not only hug into your core, but to feel the points of contact and press down. Breathe. Breathe a good one. Okay, now that we know we survived and had fun on the other side, you can stay there. We'll try the other side. So now, left arm underneath. Good, because we get way too serious in here. So reach your left arm to the right. Letting go of any expectations. Yeah, it's a nice option. And then you can take the right leg at a diagonal. That gives you a wider base of support. Or slide the right leg directly behind you. And then you can lift the right leg up. There is a side that is definitely less stable for me, that is for sure. Stay here or tense up onto your right fingertips. Take your time. Bend your right knee, right heel into your bottom. And you can bring, for me, it helps for me to bring my tailbone a little bit more forward. So I'm not bending back. Whee! And then you can reach for your right heel. Nice. You can roll back into happy baby. Woo, I have to work. You know what? You can sometimes come up with some really cool sequences from falling. Like see where your body wants to fall into. You have to press down through your back of your left hand and left shoulder. Yeah, yeah, girl. Nice. As mindfully as you can. Doesn't have to be graceful. Make your way onto hands and knees. Yeah. Way to play. If there's any posture you want to revisit at any time, go for it. Couple cat cows. Woo, way to not take yourself too seriously. And let's meet. Cross-legged position and onto your bottom. If you're already on your back, that's great because that's where we're going. Yay. Legs up to the sky. So you can hug your knees up to the chest and then extend your legs to the sky. And then grab onto the back of your legs. You could use a strap too around the soles of your feet. And then, yeah, like Beth's doing. Curl it on up. So you can use the back of your hands or use a band or a strap and like curl yourself up. Nose or chin towards the chest and forehead towards your shins. And then roll it down. Happy baby. Whatever variation you like. You could also take a strap around the soles of your feet. Yeah. I like this half happy baby. Like this. Those who can't see. It makes it more accessible and also like less tension in the neck and shoulders. So you can use this strap, or if you're grabbing onto the outer edges of your feet, pull the outer edges of your feet down and press the inner edges of your feet up. Or bring the soles of your feet together and come into a cobbler's pose variation. Rock side to side. Sometimes I like to rock to one side and straighten that same side leg and the other. Oh yeah. Explore. Let's meet with the soles of the feet on the ground for a rinse cycle. Flowing bridges, arms to the sides, palms facing down, lift the hips, reach your arms overhead. And then exhale, lower the hips as you lower the arms. 5 more times. Rhythm of your own breath. Make sure you keep the back of the neck long, so chin slightly towards your chest. You can also take a blanket or a pillow underneath your head. And meeting in a supported bridge pose. You keep the hips slightly lifted. You can slide a block either low side or medium side underneath your pelvis. Shoulder blades snuggle to the back of your heart, finding a position where your pelvis could settle and the front of your body could soften to the back body. Starting to enter a space of non-doing, taking power in the pause to feel the effects of all our efforts, especially after all that twisting, that squeezing and soaking, all that movement of the spine that we don't do enough of during our everyday modern lives. You can stay here or right knee in towards your chest and then the left. You may have to adjust the block and that's okay. It's all good. And then the left. If you want to extend the legs up to the sky, I find I have to slide my block a little bit higher. You could also use the wall, legs up against the wall. Yeah, it takes a little bit to find the sweet spot sometimes. But make sure you're not over-efforting out of this restorative pose. It's an active restorative pose. So you're still hugging the legs in towards each other, but the front body, like the individual self, make sure you're not over-efforting. Belly and ribs soften towards the back body. 3 more full cycles of breath. Meet yourself where you are. Again, you can keep the feet on the ground. And slowly bending the knees, lowering one foot down and then the other. Press through the feet, lift the hips enough to slide the block from underneath. Knees rest in towards each other, feet a little wider. Yogi's choice, any other posture or shape or movement you feel like you need to round out your practice. That could be pigeon prep, or if you're already on your back. Cross right ankle over left thigh. So each pose about 8 cycles of breath if it's symmetrical, and if it is asymmetrical, about 4 cycles of breath on each side. Try not to think about it too much. Kind of go where your body wants to go. Allow the breath to settle. Whatever variation of any shape you like. That could be another twist on your back. Could be another pose you'd like to revisit that we already explored together. After Yogi's choice, we'll meet in your resting pose. Resting pose does not always have to be on your back. You could explore on your belly, overlapping one hand on top of the other, or on your side. Maybe this is an option. A crocodile pose. If you're on your back, an option to take up more space than you normally do. Yeah, give yourself permission to take up space. Notice how that feels. As you give the weight of your body to the ground, softening from the inside out. Allow your body to like melt across, past the borders of your mat. That might mean legs wider, arms higher and wider. Softening your sensing organs, your ears, your eyes, your nostrils as the air flows in and out. Your mouth, invite more space in between your teeth, especially the back of your teeth, your molars. Allow your tongue to release to the bottom of your mouth. Even allow your tongue to like settle and soften and melt as well and widen. You are supported. Earth and breath. Giving yourself this time to marinate in that internal yoga buzz you created as the breath settles. And feeling the effects of your practice, all those efforts. Offer them up as you allow yourself to be filled with peace and awareness. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Of course, you can stay here as long as you're able to or need to. Not begin to bring movement back to your fingers and toes. Gently turn your head side to side. With awareness, bringing your legs closer together as you bend one knee and then the other. And then you can hug one knee into the chest and the other. Give yourself a big hug of gratitude for investing this time on your mat. With awareness, slowly roll to one side, pause. Head is the last thing to come on up. Comfortable seated position. No rush. We'll meet at the top. Overlapping your hands on top of your heart, or you could bring the two palms of your hands to meet. Like we did in the beginning, rooting down through the points of contact as you lengthen the sides of your body. Lift your heart up into your hands, broaden through the collarbones, back of the skull long. Thinking of one thing in your life that you are grateful for, no matter how big or small. We'll end together one cleansing breath. First, empty out all the air from your lungs. Inhale through your nose, fill up. Keep your heart lifted. Exhale, ha. And as always, gratitude for practicing together. May it all be a benefit to us and everybody else around us. Namaste. Way to practice